What is going on, everybody? My name is Robert Watkin and welcome back to another tutorial. So this is the second Photoshop tutorial. Like I said in the previous video, I'm not a professional at Photoshop. I am just showing the skills I basically know. So this is probably going to be a series which lasts, I don't know, maybe a month or two. Where I just show my Photoshop skills and share them, which are not very extensive, I'm going to add. So today I want to go over layers and how they work a little bit, and just how to get your head around them. We're going to use some of the tools on the side here just so I can demonstrate how they work. It's not going to be anything too advanced, maybe a couple minute long video. So to start off with, we're going to create a new file. So if you click on File, New, we're going to get some options here. Yours may look a lot different than mine. I am using an older version of Photoshop, but it should in general have the same settings. Now, if you look at the width and height here, this is all we're going to really bother with at the moment. I will go over color mode in the future, as well as resolution, but for now we just need the width and height. I'm assuming most of you will already know what this is. If not, it's pretty much as it explains. It is the width and height of the document that you're going to create. So most of the time you're going to want this in pixels unless you are actually printing something. But yeah, for just the purposes of this, we're going to say, let's say it's graphic design, we're just going to want it in pixels. Now, just as like a standard resolution, we're just going to type in 1920 by 1080. So 1920 width, 1080 height. This is the format I'm going to be doing for most of the actual tutorials, as this is just standard full HD. Standard full HD, I mean just full HD. But we're going to click OK here. You can actually name it if you want straight away, or you can just name it when you save it. We're going to click OK, and you can see here we have got our file. Now, there was an option to actually change the background content, and that allowed us to either make it this white background, or one of the other options was a transparent background, and that would just mean if you were to export the file and use it in something else, those parts of the image where it was just the transparent part of the image would be transparent, and you would be able to see whatever's behind it in the document you're making. Let's say it's a website or an actual animation, whatever you had in the transparent area would be transparent. So firstly, I want to show you how to make a transparent background if you don't already have it. We're going to go to the background layer here at the side. So this is where you see your layers. And you can kind of think of layers like lots of canvases stacked on top of each other. Or maybe like, let's say, panes of glass. So we've got lots of panes of glass, and we can paint stuff on the different panes of glass. And wherever we don't have something painted, we can see the panes of glass behind. So that's my little analogy of the day. But if we double click on this little lock here, we'll get the option to create a new layer and lock the layer. We're going to click OK here, and this is just going to make it so we can actually edit the layer. Now we're going to go down to the new layer button here, click on that button, and as I said, you will get a new layer. Now you will notice this didn't make any difference to the document. We can still only see layer 0, which is the white layer, and that's because layer 1 doesn't have anything on it. If we now click on layer 1, have that selected, and select the pen tool at the side, we can then choose a color down here. So we've already got this color selected. We can then scale up the actual size of the brush here by using this tool which says size and this little drop down, and then we can start painting. And if we keep painting, just draw a little image here, we've now got something on screen that we can view. If we go to the layers at the side here, and we actually drag this layer 1 under layer 2, you will no longer be able to see it. Now it is still there. It's hard to see, but on that little image, on that little thumbnail, you can actually see the image there, but it's just quite hard to see with it being so small. But the image is still there. What we've just drawn is still there. It's just behind this white background. So that's what I mean by a pane of glass. You could think of this layer 0 as a pane of glass which has been completely painted white, and then the pane of glass behind it has got what we've just drawn, and we can't see that because the one in front is covered in white paint. So if we drag that back on top now, you'll be able to see it once again. We can also choose some of the options at the side here, such as opacity. I'll go over this one. If you drag that down, you'll see If we drag that down just little bits at a time, you will actually see this top layer becomes more and more transparent to the point where we can almost not see it at all, or just to where we can't see it at all. And it is still on top, it is still in front, but we just now can't see it. Now what we can do here is we can create a few different layers, and by selecting these layers and painting different things on, so we'll just change the color here. So just having a few different things here on the different layers. We can see that they do stack appropriately. So we can see what we've just drawn on layer 3 is on the front, and what we've drawn on layer 1 before is at the back. Now if we drag layer 1 up, we've now got that line on top. If we drag layer 3 up, we've got that on top. If we drag layer 0 up, we've got that on top. And we could do any combination of all of these. Now what we could also do is, if we do have layer 0 at the front, we could get the eraser tool and actually remove some of this white, and by doing that we'll be able to see the layers behind it, including all of the colours we've just drawn before. So let's just increase our brush size once again, so we've got quite a large brush here. I will go over some hotkeys in the future on how to do this quicker, but for now we're just going to use this tool at the top. So we've got a big nice eraser here, as you can see, illustrated by the circle, and if we click, you can then suddenly see the background, and if we drag around, it's going to erase whatever we go over. Now you have got a few options to actually change some stuff here. If you reduce the hardness, and then we go to erase here, you can see it's actually got kind of a fade at the edge. In some cases this may be more appropriate for what you're doing, but just have a play around, have a mess around. But now you can see, we can see all the stuff on the background. We can once again move one of these layers up, so let's say layer 3, and we've now got that on top, while the rest are actually still behind the white layer, but we can see them through the hole in the white layer, essentially. So what I'd recommend is just have a play around with these things. You could maybe do something like draw a little face, and then on another layer have a little mask for the face, so you can make the face, so you can make the mask appear and disappear. So that's what I'll do. Right, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to quickly draw something. Like I said, my art skills aren't the best, but I'll show you what I know, and draw a little face and a little mask. And one last thing I'm going to say quickly before I actually do this: if you double click on a layer where it says the layer name, you can actually change it. So we're going to call this one on the bottom face, and then we're going to call this one in front mask. So I'm going to click on the face here and get to work. So there is my top quality face, I hope you like it. And now we're going to click on the mask layer and give him a little mask. Now what I'm actually going to do for this is just create a hardness 100 pen, give it a bit of size here, and I'm just going to draw straight across his eyes, and then we're going to reduce the size, and we're going to add kind of what looks like maybe like a little knot here, so we'll have something like that, so it's more of like a face, like a bandana or something. And now what we're going to do is rub out where the eye holes are, and of course we can't actually tell where the eyes are at the moment, so this is where we can use that opacity tool I showed before to reduce the opacity of the layer. We can see the eyes are there, so if we select the eraser tool, make sure we're still on the mask layer, we can erase out where these eyes are, and then when we bump the opacity back up on that layer, we can see that he's got eye holes for his little mask. So that is, I think, where I'm going to be ending this video. I hope you did enjoy. I hope you like my little guy here. I'll add him to the thumbnail. He'll be like the little thumbnail mascot, I guess. I don't know. But that's going to be it, guys. I hope you did learn something new from this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please leave a like. It helps the channel a lot. Also, if you want to see any more tutorials in the future, then just hit the subscribe button down below. Yeah, like I said, that's it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.